Let's cook lamb. Springtime brings forth the opportunity to enjoy delicious lamb dishes, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare 3 incredible ones right now. We're gonna start with leg of lamb because this is a very popular meal on our Easter tables. So I went ahead and told the butcher to take the bone out. So we're gonna do a boneless leg of lamb because it's just easier and it's equally as delicious. I'm gonna treat this leg of lamb basically the same way I do when it comes to cooking like a pork roast. I'm gonna start by studding it with cloves of garlic. However, when it comes to the flavor of lamb, it is a little more intense than beef and pork. So flavoring is important. In the same vein of keeping it simple, I'm just gonna do salt and pepper generously all over the outside. You could simply just put a rack inside of a sheet pan like this and go that route, but I'm gonna do a little one-pot meal action because I'm gonna need some side dishes and I want something to catch all those delicious drippings. So I'm gonna create a rack in my roasting pan with just some potatoes and onions. All right, my roast is sitting on top of vegetables. It is important to, keep it elevated and not in the pan because you want to get that browning to go all over and we don't want it to steam in its own juices. So the veggies in this case are my rack. I'm also studding it with some rosemary. As the fat renders off the top, it's going to meld with the rosemary and just get all good up in there. Now it's ready for the oven. I just roast this at 350 degrees for about 1.5 to 2 hours. You want it to be a little pink in the middle when it comes to lamb, so that's what I'm gonna hope for. This smells so good. The rack of vegetables did its job. Oh, these veggies are gonna be good. All right, I can't wait to carve into this, but first we let it rest. And while we do that, let's talk sauces for lamb. I'm not a huge fan of this, okay? If you want to serve this with your lamb, keep it easy, buy a jar and put it on the table. I'm gonna show you a great recipe for a different kind of lamb sauce. Same idea, but this is definitely a little tastier. Now this sauce is made for the grilled lamb chops, but it's gonna go great on that roasted leg of lamb as well. Save some of those pan drippings, drizzle it on top. I'm telling you, if you've got a big crowd coming, let's go with the leg of lamb. Next up is the way I like to eat lamb the most, which is the lamb chop. These are lamb loin chops. They're just like little mini T-bone steaks. It's the perfect serving, a couple of these per person. They're super easy to prepare. And I'm gonna show you something else that's popular with lamb, and that is sort of like Mediterranean spices. So we're gonna do a little oregano, cumin, coriander, and a pinch of cinnamon. So I'm just gonna marinate these for about 4 hours in those spices along with olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper. And then we're gonna throw those in a grill pan. Of course, it's great outside on the grill as well. This to me is the perfect, elegant weekend meal. All right, the grill's hot and ready. This is, in my opinion, the easiest way to cook lamb. So if you've never cooked lamb before, starting with the grilled loin chops is probably the way to go. We're gonna grill these just like you would a steak. Just like with a lot of grilled meats, I love to finish them with a little bit of sea salt flakes. So good. Something about lamb, it just cuts like butter. Y'all, that jelly with the mint pairs so perfectly with that char on the outside. Oh my gosh. Let's get started on rack of lamb. This is maybe what you want to cook if you want to do that impressive Easter dinner, but on a smaller scale because you only have a few people to feed. A rack of lamb would be a great choice there, or just for any kind of fancy entertaining. So I have ordered the rack of lamb and I've asked them to French the bones, and that means they kind of take the stuff off the sides, so when we cut them, they look like little lollipops, and it's just better for presentation. So we're gonna create a pistachio crusted rack of lamb. This recipe is available at Allrecipes. So we're just gonna simply salt and pepper, and then we sear it in a skillet before we put the crust on it. All right, we've got our racks of lamb nice and seared, and now we're gonna make the coating, which starts with pistachios, breadcrumbs, herbs, some melted butter, salt and pepper, and olive oil. All right, we've got that mixture. It smells so good. We need something for it to stick to, so we're just gonna coat each rack with some Dijon mustard, and then we'll press the topping on it. I'm gonna cook these on a rack that I spray with some cooking spray. All right, these are ready to go. They're going to a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Again, we want them to be pink in the middle. They're gonna be so tender, so flavorful. This is where it's at. Check this out. These are pretty, and you can just tell they're gonna taste delicious. Just like any roasted meat, we have to let it rest before we cut into it. So we're gonna let this rest for about 10 minutes. Ooh, like butter. Look at that, perfection. That's an impressive dinner. I gotta just get a little taste. Y'all gotta try this, for real. It is like melts in your mouth. It is so tender. I hope you'll be trying at least one of these recipes, and when you do, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. In the meantime, be sure you're subscribed to our channel, and when it comes to lamb, you can cook that.